packing, cause you just end up back with your stuff. You never really leave me when you say you're gonna leave me, and you just end up backing it up.
Hey guys, thank you so much for tuning into my channel, and to my new subscribers I say welcome. As you already know, my channel is about being open, honest, and transparent. We're talking about things nobody wants to talk about, guys, okay? If y'all hear stuff going on in the background, it's my dishwasher and my dryer. So bear with me, I'm sorry. And all the kids are sleeping, so that's why I'm probably a little bit more quiet than normal. So tonight I wanted to talk about stepchildren and everything that comes along with it. First things first, let me just say that nobody is going to love your child the way that you love your child. Point blank, period. So if you're walking into a relationship and you have kids, understand that they're just not going to love your child the way that you love them. I mean, it might come really close and they may love them to the best of their ability, but it's not going to be like you love your child. And vice versa. If you don't have kids and you're walking into a relationship with people who have kids, you're probably going to love them a lot once you get to know them and you're around them a lot. But you're not, if it's a really good parent, if they have a really good parent, you're not going to love them. It's just not as much as that parent loves them. So first I wanted to talk about disciplining. I believe that two people should always come together and talk about discipline, the do's, the don'ts, and of course I feel like the parent of the child should have the most say. And if y'all can't agree, then maybe y'all shouldn't be together, because that child's not going to go anywhere, okay? Whew. I spank my child. I don't abuse him, but I definitely spank him and I chastise him. I'm going to do any child like that that's around me. One, because I know that 10 times out of 10, if they don't deserve a spanking, I'm not going to give them a spanking. I know that I'm very fair when it comes to discipline. I know that I give plenty of warnings before you get in trouble, whether it be in the corner or a spanking. And when I say a spanking, if it's not my child, they're probably only going to get one, maybe 2 licks to the butt with the belt. If it's my child, he might get a few more, depending on what he did. But yeah, I spank kids. Even the ones that I'm just babysitting. Like I said, I give warnings, and I'm like, you know, I let the person know before I watch it. I spank your child now. It is what it is. But hopefully the person who is allowing me or wanting me to babysit their child, hopefully they understand that I'm not going to spank them for just any reason. Like, it's going to have to be a really good reason for me to spank them. And like I said, I treat children the way that I treat my own child. So if I'm going to spank my child for it and your child did it too, your child will get a spanking too. Depending on how old the child is, it's going to be like the level of discipline they get. So whether it's hold your hand out like this and I pop you on your hand, hold your hand out like that and I pop you, or like I said, if I'm like, nah, I'm gonna get a belt and I'm gonna give you 1, maybe 2 licks. It just depends on the circumstances. When it comes to a stepchild, I feel like you should have a conversation not only with your spouse, but if the other parent is present in that child's life, you need to have a conversation with that parent also. I feel like, just my opinion, it doesn't matter if the other parent and your spouse are not on good terms. That doesn't matter. I feel like you need to speak to both parents to make sure that you all are on one accord, because what you don't want to happen is, let's say you spank your stepchild and your spouse is okay with it, but then the stepchild goes to live with the other parent for the weekend, and they tell their parent like, oh, such and such spanked me, then it's an issue. If that other parent doesn't want you to discipline the child physically in that way. So that's why I feel like there should be conversations with both parents. Like I said, whether they're talking or not, whether they're on good terms or not. Me personally, like I said, I've just always been that way. If I spank my child for X, Y, and Z, I'ma spank yours too. My stepchild, out of the 7 years that I've known him, I've spanked him twice. Out of 7 years. He's a really good child. Like, he doesn't normally get in trouble. He doesn't do anything to deserve a spanking. So there's no need to. Usually if you just tell him something, he'll get it. Now, in that same instance, I feel the same way with gifting. So if I go to the store and I purchase something for my son, I'm going to purchase something for my stepchild as well. I was raised to where if you can't do for one, you don't do for the other. Once again, if I'm babysitting people's kids, if my son wants something out of the store when I have other people's kids and I can't afford to buy everybody the same thing, then no, you can't get it. If I can afford to buy everybody the same thing, then yeah, you get one and everybody else get one too. I've just never been that type to, I don't know. It just doesn't feel comfortable for me to get something for one child and not get it for the other. I remember one time it was my son's birthday. It was his birthday, and I had his brother with me. So I had both of them, and I took my son to the store, and I was basically like, just get whatever you want. And I told him he can get 3 things. And he got those 3 things for his birthday. And I felt so bad because his brother was there. Granted, it's my son's birthday. It's not his brother's birthday. But I couldn't just, I don't know. I was like, you can get something too. So he did get 1 compared to my son's 3. But like I said, it was my son's birthday. I just feel like if you do for one, you have to do for the other. Whether it's gifting, disciplining, because in my eyes, if you have stepchildren, and let's say you come into the relationship with a child that is not from the spouse that you're with, and they have children of their own, let's say there are 3 kids, your spouse has 2 kids and you have 1 child, all 3 children right on the wall. Your spouse doesn't discipline physically his kids, but you discipline yours. I feel like your child would be like, well, why didn't they get a spanking? Or why didn't they get in trouble like I got in trouble? You right, I need to spank all y'all behinds, huh? Line them up. That's just how I feel. I don't know. Some people don't agree with that. I've had very close friends that was like, I ain't putting my hands on nobody else's children, or people who have had step parents spank them before. It was like, my mama didn't play that. She didn't let my stepmama put her hands on me. I'm telling you right now, I'ma spank your child. I'ma spank your child if they deserve a spanking. If I feel like they need it, I'ma spank your child. Don't leave your children with me. I'm telling you that right now. I tell them that before they want to drop their kids off with me. Understand? I spank children, okay? Okay, so let's say that you and your spouse separate. Do you think that it's a good idea to continue a relationship with your stepchild, or do you feel like it's better to distance yourself? Because 9 times out of 10, they're no longer your stepchild and they will have a different stepmom or stepdad. So do you separate yourself from the spouse and from the child, or just from the spouse? I honestly feel like it depends on the type of relationship that you've built with the child. If it's a circumstance to where you see the child every other weekend and y'all really don't have a close relationship, then you do what you need to do, which is probably going to be separate from the spouse and from the child. But if you are with that child almost every day, like your spouse was the primary parent, and you formed a relationship with this child, you've spent years in a relationship with this child's mother or father, and y'all have a close relationship, then I say no matter what, stay in that child's life. Like, be somebody that the child can talk to, that the child can look up to, that the child can call whenever they need to call. I wouldn't break that relationship. It's a tough one though, because I feel like, and like, once again, this is just my opinion, I feel like I'm very selfish to the point of where I want to shelter my own emotions. So I don't want to be in a situation to where I want to come pick up my ex stepchild, and you're like, no, and the parents are like, no, we're not together, like you can't come pick them up. When I come get my child, then they can spend time with their siblings, but you won't be the one to come pick them up. Like, that's not your role anymore. That would hurt my love feelings. So I would separate myself. I would talk to the child, let them know the situation at hand, let them know what's going on, let them know that they can come to me whenever they want to, talk to me about whatever they need to talk to me about. I'm only one phone call away. I still love them, but I would separate myself from the child. It's just me. So I don't know if anyone has been through this type of situation or is currently going through this situation, but y'all let me know how y'all handle things as far as discipline and as far as gifting, because I know one situation, I had one person tell me that they didn't think that it was necessary to, and this was two biological children, same mom, same dad. They went to the store and purchased something for one child, and they were like, oh, I feel bad, I got to get something for the other child too. And another person was like, why? Like, if you're going to specifically buy for one child, you shouldn't have to buy for both children each time. I feel like you do. Granted, here recently, I just bought my daughter a ton of clothing because, of course, she's a baby, she grows faster. My son, I didn't buy him as many clothes. One, because he has enough clothes. Two, because his dad just bought him some clothes. So I didn't buy the same amount, but of course I bought him some because I bought my daughter some. I just feel like that's just what you're supposed to do. And if I couldn't afford to buy him anything, I wouldn't have gotten her anything. I don't know. That's just how I am. Y'all tell me, let me know, like, how y'all feel. Do y'all feel the same way? Am I crazy? I was about to say I don't really care. I care about what you guys say. The reason that I care is because I like to get another look at things. I like to see things from different perspectives. Not saying that I'm going to agree with it, but I would like to understand other people's perspectives. So if you disagree, I'd love to know your perspective and, how your mind works and how you see things. Doesn't mean I'm going to change my mind, but I would like to know the way that your mind operates. Y'all drop it in the comments. Let me know. Like, share, subscribe. Good night.
I'm sick of this unpacking. I'm sick of this unpacking. Cause you just end up